What's up, Nick? It's playoff time.
Oh, not much. I am so excited to watch UFL playoffs here. We're going to watch real meaningful football. We haven't had this in the last 2 weeks since the playoffs were set. So we're watching legitimate matchups that are heading down today, and I'm really excited for these upcoming games.
Yes, I am also excited. It's going to be great. Hopefully, we get some people chiming in and joining. Let's go, DC.
DC, the undercurrent team that Rob's been cheering on secretly. Don't tell the Brahma fans, but his true heart probably lies with DC right now. Until the team's in Austin.
Beer Snake. How can you not love Tiamu? It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're going to be playing over in St. Louis, too, of all places, which, it's going to be I wonder if they're going to get a beer snake going down St. Louis. I wonder if enough DC Defender fans are going down for that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure a beer snake will appear somehow, some way. Granted, if St. Louis is smart, they'll make anyone wearing DC merch pay like $30 for a beer. But
Yeah, absolutely. They would charge it up the wazoo there. So we got the upcoming games right over here. The first one that's actually going to be playing is going to be the Michigan Panthers and Birmingham Stallions. The Birmingham Stallions are favored by 1.5, them being at home, and Michigan Panthers are a little behind. So it looks like the Stallions are going to be favored in this game, but not by much. It's a flip 'em game. So, Rob, where's your where do you think it's gonna pan out? Do you think the Panthers?
They're both pick'ems, really.
Yeah, they really are. But like the Panthers, this is gonna be the rematch from last year. Do you think the Michigan Panthers have improved enough to take down the Birmingham Stallions?
Things. Yeah, it all depends on a couple things. Can Bryce Perkins stay healthy the whole game? Can Mike Nolan control himself and not put Danny Etling in the game? And can the Panthers defense stand up to what's going to be a very consistent attack from the Stallions? And the Stallions have been here before. And the Panthers have proved multiple times they're not ready for the Stallions in the big moments. This is their time to shine. This is Bryce Perkins' moment. It should be a coin flip. It really should be. It's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be as high scoring as our nightcap game. My heart says Bryce Perkins, but logic says the Stallions are been there, done that. They're going to take care of business.
And so the Stallions are going to take over. So you're picking the Stallions to win that game?
Yeah, I don't want them to win. But remember, we are very poor at picking these games, so fade us. But I think the Stallions are going to come away with it. Yeah.
So I've got a different mindset here heading into this game because I've been thinking about it a lot lately, and I'm starting to think the Michigan Panthers are going to win this game. And the only reason why I'm saying with that is compared to last year, the teams really aren't too much different, except I guess the Panthers did lose Marcus Sims to the Roughnecks. But outside of that, the two biggest changes that are happening are at the quarterback position. The Birmingham Stallions had Adrian Martinez last year, who I think, although Jamar Smith looks really good, he's no Adrian Martinez, who's now in the NFL. Adrian Martinez was something else that the league couldn't handle. In fact, he was their number one rusher for the Stallions last year, and that's with a great running back crew and a good offensive line. He still ended up leading the team in rushing. So without Adrian Martinez, and with the upgrade that the Panthers had with E.J. Perry last year and Etling last year, now you're moving up to Bryce Perkins taking over that spot. I think they've got enough to take them out, and the Michigan Panthers should be able to pull off this win. So I'm pumped. And I think the Panthers are going to get this win. They're going to beat the Birmingham Stallions, and I know people like Panther Shadow are excited about that, even though they wanted Mike Nolan fired early in the year. This is going to be a good little redemption for Mike Nolan and finally get over the hump and make it to the playoffs. I mean, make it to the championship.
Yeah, for sure. I hope you're right. All your logic is really sound. I'm excited. I just want to see in the first quarter Bryce Perkins break the pocket, scramble for 60 yards and a touchdown. That's all I want to see. That's it.
Yeah,
It's easy, simple.
And with the Stallions pass rush, having a guy like Bryce Perkins in the helm who can move around in the pocket and is able to make some plays happen, I think they're much more equipped this time around. So I think he's going to make some exciting plays out there. Defensively, these two teams are very similar. They're good at stopping the run, and they suffocate you on the pass too as well. So they're great defenses to watch. I would pick probably the under. I don't know what the over under is, but I'd probably go ahead and pick the under. Yeah.
Let's take a look.
But while Rob's looking that up, I just think these match up very well. The Michigan Panthers are designed to stop the Stallions, and they were the only team that I thought could do it last year, and they got pretty close. They had a good start to the game, but didn't pull it off. I think this is their year. I think the Michigan Panthers are looking like they're in a really good shape and going to pull it off.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
I hope you're right.
It's got to be a low. I'd imagine. My guess, just off the top of my head, I'm going to go 40, 42. 42 would be the over/under.
Of course, in classic UFL fashion, you search UFL playoff betting lines on Google, and all the NFL playoff lines from earlier this season pop up. Come on, y'all. Let's do better.
Oh, I got it. Rob, I got it. It's 46 and a half.
46 and a half. That makes sense. I would slam the under on it.
Big time with those two defenses. And the style on the offense.
Only one team's getting in the 20s. That's it.
Yeah, I think only one. It's going to be like a 21-17 point game, something like that. Both of those offenses, though, they feed off the run. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when both offenses are getting suffocated and they have to actually pass the ball. Which one can step up and do it? My money's on Bryce Perkins all day. He would have been the MVP if he would have played all year long and didn't have an injury and have Mike Nolan fighting for his job over there or trying to take it out. So I think he's going to showcase to the UFL and the league that he's the real deal, and he's going to do really well.
Yeah, for sure. And, there's always the factor that it's really hard to beat one team 3 times in a season. You hear that all the time in the NFL. Can Birmingham really do it a third straight time? We're going to find out. A lot will, how is Perkins' ankle feeling? I haven't seen too much about it other than he's number 1 on the depth chart. Because if Perkins goes out early, all bets are off. It's going to be a Birmingham day.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. If he was really, really hurt, I think Mike Nolan wouldn't waste a minute to find a way to put Etling in because I don't know.
Well, is Etling even healthy right now? I'm seeing that Ricky Lombardi is probably the backup.
Oh wow.
No.
Yeah, maybe he's hurt.
Yeah. Let's see. Let's pull up that depth chart.
Very well could be hurt over there. Hopefully it won't matter though, because Bryce Perkins will be starting and put on a big showcase there.
No, they have Etling listed as number 2, so Lombardi's third. That's just the Fox website posted a preview yesterday, and of course, even though Etling is listed second, they're talking about Lombardi. Come on, UFL, get your promo stuff right.
Yeah, they got to improve it. Now, I'm guessing you're a lot like me where we're excited to watch this game, but it being a defensive struggle and the offensive firepower is going to be a little lackluster, I think, with the 2 great defenses. We do have a big game coming up, and this is the one that I actually am more interested in. It's the DC Defenders against the St. Louis Battlehawks. Who do you think's pulling through on that one, Rob?
This one's going to be an awesome game. I think the winner of this game wins the whole thing. I'm going to put my faith in Tiamu. He hasn't really let me down all season. We'll see if the last time Dugan had this big of a playoff spotlight on him, he watched as Michigan put like 60 points on his team and he didn't do a thing. So let's see if he can handle the playoff pressure again in a different sort of spotlight. Probably less. The lights are a little less bright compared to that national title game a few years ago, but does he get it done in the playoffs? We'll see. The defenders have a very opportunistic defense. I think they can take advantage.
Big time.
Yeah. And Tiamu's just time and time again this season, he's come up in the clutch. So
I don't think the I don't think the St. Louis Battlehawks are going to stack well against the DC Defenders. And I'm sorry, St. Louis Nation. You guys are going to shell out. You're going to have a great appearance out there. You're going to do a good job out there as a fan group. I'm sure get up to 40,000 to cheer for your team. But the fact of the matter is that with Max Duggan, who I love, he can run the ball really well. He's a scrappy player. I'm so skeptical on his pass. And the DC Defenders are pretty good at blitzing and causing issues where a quarterback needs to make a quick decision. And bam, pick the other way too. They're great at creating turnovers. The rush defense is all right, but what the most alarming part I think about this game is that the St. Louis Battlehawks don't have a good running defense. They're ranked 5th in the league, and the DC Defenders, that's their bread and butter. If you get that run developed and Teamu has that play action to work on his side, it's game over. And I think the DC Defenders should be scoring a lot. Teamu should get those big plays that he's been expecting for quite some time, and he's going to pull it off and probably get the big win for the DC Defenders.
Yeah, I think so. They split the season series, but you really can't count last week's game. It was a meaningless game. Everyone was trying to get out of that healthy. So really the week 3 game is what you'd look at more, and that was a double-digit win for the Defenders. That was the one that let everyone know the Defenders were for real. Granted, that was week 3. We're now 2 months later. Things are different. Both sides of the ball. St. Louis did not have Hakeem Butler for that one, so they do have him for this one. So it's not all on Sailors. So it's a different St. Louis team than week 3. So it's going to be fun.
I think if they had Manny Wilkins, this thing would be much, much better, though, right? For the St. Louis Battlehawks. I know we can't go back and demand that kind of stuff once an injury happens, but I think they're going to be missing him this time for sure.
I think, and I said that in the preseason, I think Duggan's the better quarterback out of the two. But Wilkins was good at generating an efficient, quick offense. Duggan does take a little longer to develop, but I think Duggan's the better quarterback. So I think they're in better shape.
Yeah, man, I don't know about that. It's that throw motion. Throws me off, man. A little struggle with accuracy and not as strong of an arm there.
It works though. It works.
It works to a certain level. I think the scrappiness is fun. It's cute. It does a great job, and he's a great player. And he's one of those quarterbacks I probably wouldn't want on my team, but I like to cheer for because he's so fun to watch. He really is. But man, Manny Wilkins commanded that offense and ran it like a well-oiled machine. I get it. He wasn't clutch in the last game that he played and threw some serious picks, but it's a risk you're going to take there.
And then, but it's the Battlehawks won 8-2 on the year. Or 7-2 if you don't want to factor in that last game. Duggan won a lot of games for him.
And I completely agree with that. I think the key to this is this is the real reason why these two teams are here is because you have a great coaching on both sides here. You got Anthony Becht on one side who does a wonderful job at this.
He's my favorite coach in the league.
Yeah, he's got a good rah-rah. But he's also great at X's and O's and making sure to come up with the game plan where the offense is just quarterback friendly. All he's trying to do is build that offense around that quarterback to make it as easy as possible for them. And so that's why I think Max Duggan's been doing so good. He's increased the play action. He increased the zone read running style, and he's getting Duggan involved on the ground, kind of like the Ravens do with Lamar Jackson. So I think he's doing a really good job at developing Duggan, working with what he's got, and that offense has been able to play pretty well throughout the year with Duggan. But in the same credit goes over to the DC defender side. I think Fred Keist is the best offensive coordinator in the league. He knows Teamu's got a big arm. He's not the most accurate, but if you establish that play action, all you're waiting for you're just waiting for one of those fast wide receivers to crack on the outside, and then he hits it. And that's all he needs to hit. He's got the lowest completion percentage out of all the quarterbacks, and he's about to win the MVP. Well, why is that? Because he gets that deep ball like no other quarterback does in the league.
Yeah, he's quickly become my favorite player. I wish he was on the Brahmas. He's doing what I was hoping Kellen Mond was going to do. But, nothing went right for the Brahmas this year. It sounds like if we were privy to a Hard Knock style show for them throughout the whole season, we would have been very entertained. And that's usually not a good thing for a franchise. So, yeah, DC defenders all the way here. I think you're looking at a 33 to 27 game or something like that. It's gonna be high scoring, and I do think the Battlehawks offense scores more than the defenders offense does, but I think the defenders defense scores some points, and that's the difference.
Yeah, I really do wonder that. These defenses are really weird because DC defenders, all it is an all or nothing style, right? They're big on blitzing, and they're big on just making sure to stop the run and then, work from that. But they're highly aggressive. So you could score on them, but at the same time, they can ruin your day. And all of a sudden, you have one of the most miserable games out there with that scheme. Where I think the defensive style more on the St. Louis Battlehawks is, bend, don't break, which does match up well for a team like this. If you have a good front seven and you can stop the run, but keep it in a nickel package, keep your secondary back and stop those wide receivers for going off, they might be able to really suffocate this Teamu team and for them.
If they find a way to hold the defenders to field goals in the first half, they're going to win the game. Plain and simple, they will. And then, on offense, a really aggressive defense like that, the biggest thing to do is quick strikes. So if Duggan can start picking and popping with the slants, my heart might be wrong. Beer Sneak defender might be drowning his miseries. Same with all the great defender fans as the Battlehawks get ready to host a home game for the championship. So, and the defenders are a good team. They're well coached, even though their coach took over last minute. They're clearly very well coached and hopefully still have that same coach leading them next year. But the crowd is going to play a factor. I don't think the crowd's going to play a factor in the early game. I really don't. Birmingham hasn't drawn well all year. Hopefully that changes, but I think they will. I think the St. Louis crowd is going to be loud, so defenders have to do something early to quiet it down.
Yeah, it's like the only UFL place that you could play at where the crowd will be making a factor into that St. Louis dome. It will be loud with even 40,000 in a smaller stadium. It's going to make an impact too because it's a closed roof stadium, and they're going to get their noise out there and really mess up snap counts and things like that. I wouldn't be shocked at all if Teamu struggles, but this is going to be good for the Fox though, because it is going to show, like, we already know the product on the field, especially with these two teams, are great. I think it's going to be great viewership because now if you're an outside fan that doesn't really watch the UFL that much and you just pop this game on, you're going to go, what is going on? Like
Yep.
this one's loud.
Yeah,
This one's got a lot of fans.
they're going to be going up. At the same time, though, it is a crowded sports plate tonight. We've got at 7 o'clock, Pacers Thunder. And as much as everyone was saying, hey, there's going to two small markets, no one's going to want to watch that. After the way that game one went, people are going to want to turn that game on. And then at the same time, starting at the exact same time, we got game 3, Oilers Panthers. And through 2 games, that's been an all time series. So, oh, wait, no, that's on Monday. Cool. So that's on Monday. We're good there. I don't know why.
I was going to say,
ESPN has it popped up like the very first thing you see when you check top events for.
Yeah.
It's like ESPN now. So they're going up. They're just going up against the NBA. So we'll see. If you're someone that wants to watch that NBA game, put it on split screen. It's going to be worth it because it's going to be a very entertaining game. And then we just got to hope the Mr. Rule Czar, Mike Pereira, does not decide he needs a lot of TV time.
I wouldn't want that at all. I would not want that at all. Yeah, it's. I hope Pereira stays out of it for sure. That's going to be a real big problem. I don't like the fact that I think what the UFL does with reffing is awesome in the aspect that you get to hear everything. The fans get to hear everything that goes on over there. So at least there's some transparency. But man, I feel like Pereira just makes it up on the fly when you're supposed to be the ultimate judge, man. Just letter of the law. What is the rule and are they following it? It's a very black and white world, hence the referee's uniform.
Well, he's making corrections that make sense, except for the fact that he's changing things that aren't challenged. So he's taking the challenge and saying, let me find something else. And no, we all know you understand what the rules are. That's why it's your job. But according to how the challenges are supposed to work all season, it's only what is challenged is being reviewed. And Pereira continually breaks that. So I hope he doesn't do that this time around.
And specifically with this coach, Anthony Beck plays that challenge so well. He's the best in the league that uses that to his advantage. He knows what to do. I mean, fans will be screaming at him probably at some point in the game in the first quarter to throw the challenge flag. And I guarantee you, Anthony's like, no, dude, I'm waiting for that moment, that moment where, I could take a touchdown off the board. I could take.
He uses the super challenge better than anyone in the league.
Yeah, he understands the rules, and he's like, I'm going to manipulate it. I know the loopholes. So credit to Anthony Beck on using it. I'm just saying to Pereira, though, if he challenges for one penalty on the play, don't be picking, every other player. We could do that. Theoretically, you could throw a challenge flag every play, and you can get a holding call. It's out there almost every play. So I hope he does.
And that's what he does.
I mean, he just waits. That big game against the Renegades. What was it? He just threw it out there and go, I got something. I got something out there that I can take this team down and take this touchdown off the board. So get ready for that. I think Anthony Beck should be able to do that. An interesting rule to prevent that is a 2-minute rule, right? Just like in the NFL, just within 2 minutes, no more challenge flags. It's over, right?
Yep, that for sure should be a thing. Very, very much so. It's got to be a thing. But at the same time, it's just like, hang on. You hear my dog in the background?
Yeah, it's Prim, everyone.
You talk for a minute until that goes away. Go ahead and talk.
Yeah. Anyway, Anthony Beck is going to use that to his advantage all day, and I think the best thing to fix that for the UFL is the 2-minute rule, number one, and then another. Keep the super challenge though. I actually love the super challenge. I like the fact that any penalty can be called out there anytime. It allows for less controversy and it can do a lot for you heading into it. So it should be real fun. By the way, we do have a private chat. I'm going to keep this a little public. I'm going to get behind the scenes, pull the current, pull behind the curtains here. Rob, that shadow right over there is the chat. It's the new feature that StreamYard just put up for comments.
So it's the lack of comments. It's the lack of comments. I got it.
Yeah, so the 5 viewers that are watching, bots or not, feel free to go ahead and make any comments. If we're making any bad calls, it's going to pop up on our screen here, and you're more than welcome to, chime in and tell Rob why he's wrong about this or that. I'm okay with that. Not me, just Rob. Just Rob.
Yeah, I can be wrong. Nothing wrong with that.
I can't accept it. No. I know all. But but yeah, that's what that's there for, Rob.
That makes sense. Cool. Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know.
For sure. Yeah, and I've been talking to Reed here too. I was actually in the middle of communicating with them. He says he could do like a stream later, but couldn't do it this one right now. He wanted to get a little bit more prepared. But yeah.
All good. So wait, but who is your pick? Defenders versus Battlehawks?
Oh, it's Defenders all day. I just don't think it's a good matchup for the Battlehawks at all. I think the DC Defenders have their number this game, just like last year. Although they never played in the playoffs, but comparing both teams from last year, the Battlehawks, it was going to be Manny Wilkins because AJ was hurt, but AJ McCarron was hurt, but Manny Wilkins was going against his team. And personally, I know me and you disagree on this. I just think Manny Wilkins is the better quarterback. And I think they're doing a slight downgrade, not a big one, but a slight downgrade to Max Duggan, who can't throw the football as far. But defense and offensive style, they're both still really good. I just think the DC Defenders have improved so much from last year. Teamu, he himself has put on a much, much better performance this year to become the MVP. He was definitely not that last year. He had a struggling year last year. And this defense is doing what they do best. Allow big plays every once in a while, but also go ahead and get some interceptions and some fumbles because this team is a menace. They cause problems. And their front seven for the DC Defenders, they don't have to blitz. They really don't. And Blake Williams knows that too. When he was against the Renegades, he realized it. He was like, wait, why am I blitzing? And Luis Perez is killing me on every single play. So if the Battlehawks do really well against the blitz, he'll stop. He'll back that thing up and just say, I'll throw in a nickel package and just let my front four do some damage over there. And they will. They're much better this year. The problem with it, though, I will say, is the Battlehawks, I think, have the best offensive line in the league. So, it's a good, unstoppable force against an unmovable object dilemma here for the Battlehawks and the Defenders.
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a good day of football. I'm excited because it's a perfect day for it here in Central Texas. We're looking at heat index is supposed to hit 109 today. So I don't know about you, but I'm not going to a golf course. I'm staying indoors, going to get some projects done and then hang out in front of the TV to enjoy it and watch it.
I'm actually smoking a turkey, so I'm going to be in and out of that 109 index, but should be a lot of fun, though. I'm definitely going to have the game on in the background.
I mean, are you going to need to light any coals, or are you just setting the turkey out in the yard and checking it every few hours?
Yeah, just putting it on some aluminum foil and throwing it out to the front, and it should be cooked by then. I don't know if it'll taste good, but should do that. No. I'm getting the coals. We got to get it up to 202. 109 just ain't going to do it. You should know this, Rob. Come on. Smoking. We're in Texas. Come on.
Yeah, that's true.
Although, to be fair, though, it's a black grill, so maybe I could throw it in the grill. And I don't
that'll get it there.
And that'll get it to 225, maybe.
So. Gotta love summer in Texas.
Yeah, it's fun though. I don't know. And spring football is going to come to an end, so it's going to be a sad day, but we'll definitely watch these games, get some good analysis. We're going to have a podcast. Probably, what do you say, Rob? Tuesday?
We can do, let me think, we can do Tuesday. That'd be fine. Yeah, let's do a Tuesday evening podcast, recapping and then previewing the title game. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot to talk about for sure. And then we'll probably also give a little sneak peek into what we'll be covering once the season ends, what we're going to focus on next. We can do a little sneak peek into that on our Tuesday pod as well.
Might have to change our name from UFL Homer Hour. We can keep it. I think it'd be fun, but we'll discuss those things too in the next upcoming pod, or maybe we'll have another pod after the championship and give UFL its proper respect. Either way, so we should be producing that pretty shortly next week. Please feel free to join in on that. And then I'd imagine we're gonna try. We wanted 2 extra people to be joining us, and I don't know if that's going to happen. We might be able to get Reed to do a live broadcast of the championship game. You're still down for that, Rob? I'm putting you on blast.
Yeah, you put me on blast, and I'm going to tell you it's not going to happen because that's going to be on the 15th of June, and that is a national holiday in this house. That is my wife's birthday, so I'm going to be hanging with my wife. I will not be live streaming spring football on the 15th. That's for sure.
That's fine. I think I'm still going to do a live broadcast. I'll probably get Reed to hop on that one.
Yeah, get Reed, get whoever else. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I definitely want some more output there, but we'll get that figured out heading into it. But should be a blast, guys. Should be a blast. I hope you guys enjoyed the football game. Feel free to watch us, like us, subscribe to us. Rob, do the plug-in thing that you normally do. What is it on Instagram?
Yeah, on Instagram, follow us, Nick and Rob Homer Hour. Make sure to follow us there. If you're watching us either live through X, pop over to our YouTube, give us a like and subscribe. If you're watching this once it gets posted up in a little bit, watching it as more of a lead-in into the title games, make sure to follow us on YouTube again. Make sure to follow both of us on X and follow us on Instagram as well.
Yep. So good luck, guys. Hope you guys enjoy it. May your best teams win, and have a good week.
Have a good one. Let's go, Tiamu. Let's go, Defenders.
Yeah. All right. Bye.